Hello, welcome
Hi.
everyone. I'm so excited to be here tonight to discuss incidents around the house with my friends Liv and Jesse. I can't wait to talk about this one with you all. This is such a popular book, and it's also really hard to get your hands on if you didn't get the book of the month book. I just mean physically because there's like a shortage with the publisher. I don't know if you all knew that.
I did hear that.
Yeah.
What publisher is it? Do we know?
I
I have it right here somewhere.
Oh, Del Rey?
Oh. Yeah,
Okay.
Del Rey.
Penguin Random House?
Oh,
I don't know.
So, yeah, because I love waiting till very close to the live show because I like it being fresh in my mind. And so over the weekend, or actually over the past couple weeks, I've been like, ooh, I should get it. And then Liv, you were like, oh, go on Pango. So I went and I saw options. I should have just gotten it when you told me to, but I didn't. So then I was talking with a bookseller, and then she was like, oh, it looks like there's actually a shortage of this from the publisher. So anyway,
Crazy.
yeah, so I got the audiobook, and I'm excited to talk about that.
You're brave. I
Yeah,
couldn't do it.
I know. But, welcome to everybody here. Hello. If you all want to quick introduce yourselves and, share about your channel real quick, I would love that. So everybody, if they don't know you, can get introduced. I feel like everybody knows you all. They've been on here before as hosts, but not in the same live before, so it's fun.
True. My name is Liv, or Olivia, from Liv's Library. I will say this was very out of the normal of my typical reading taste, but I'll keep my thoughts for later. But I typically read a lot of fantasy. I do read mystery thrillers, so this does have kind of like that aspect to it, but I do a lot of cozy content, lifestyle. We're already into fall videos, so yeah, that's pretty much me.
Amazing.
Hello, my name's Jessie. My channel is Reading with Jess, and I typically love to read thrillers and romance, and this one is definitely got that thriller aspect. I love knowing that there's like a paranormal element in it. I like to know that up front versus being like blindsided. But yeah, that's typically what my content is about, is thrillers. If it's not kissing, it's killing. That's my thing.
I absolutely love that.
That's your new brand now for your channel. You need that in your banner.
Not kissing, it's killing.
Honestly, I mean, you just gotta have the dichotomy. It's gotta exist, Hi, excited to hear your thoughts. I didn't read the book. Oh my gosh, words are so hard. I didn't read. Wait, okay, there is a typo because I was like, I'm not saying this correctly, but I am curious about it. Okay. Disclaimer, I just woke up from a nap, so I was like, am I reading this correctly? Let me know in the comments if you read it, how you read it. Did you read it physically, Kindle, audio, all those fun things. I also wanted to mention that next month is the month of Lady Killer by Catherine Wood. I'll hold it up here. And actually, Gwen, who is right here, and then also Hannah from Hannah's recent reads are the co-hosts. So I'm excited to read this one with you all. So I just wanted to do a quick reminder in the beginning of the live show. If you're curious, it's all listed on my Lights Out Book Club Instagram for that information. But anyway, I'm so excited to talk about this one. Me too. I will be interested to hear more about the book. Hello, welcome. Hello. I know, that's amazing. It is a good banner. That's a good idea, honestly. I'm not sure what YouTube would think of that, though.
True. You're banned.
They'd be like, ooh, that doesn't seem very good. I need a t-shirt with that saying on it. Yeah, you should make merch with that.
I have tried. I just can't find anything that I like with that saying.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
I feel like I'd buy it with just anything, but
bookmark.
Yeah. Because then it could go for any genre if it was on a bookmark.
Yeah. I read the book physically and listened to the audio Nice. I would love that on a shirt. Oh my gosh, that's your comment. So sorry. That always happens when I read comments and the host comment. I'm like, oh, I'll just read this comment out loud. I tend to read with the physical and audio. Nice. I have so many conflicting thoughts on this one. Oh my gosh,
Ooh.
so interesting. So, before we get into it, also, we're going to start with a non-spoiler section because I always like to do that. Just so if you haven't read the book, you get an idea of if you want to maybe read it. And then I will give a big warning before we go into spoilers. But Jesse, if you want to share what this book is about, that would be
fantastic. Excuse me, my voice cracked there for a minute. I actually have the synopsis right here, so I feel like the best way is just to read that.
Yeah.
But it is about an 8-year-old named Bella. She has her family, which is her world. There's mommy, Dado, and Grandma Ruth. But there's also other mommy, which, star of the show. It is an entity who asks her every single day, can I go inside your heart? When horrifying incidences around the house signal that other mommy is growing tired and asking Bella the same questions over and over, Bella understands that unless she says yes, soon her family must pay. Other mommy is getting restless, stronger, and bolder. Only the bonds of family can keep Bella safe, and other incidents show crack in her parents' marriage. The safety Bella relies on is on the brink of unraveling. Dun, dun, dun.
I love that. I think that is such an intriguing synopsis. I didn't even read the whole synopsis, actually, because I just had to know, I had to see the cover and know it was like a creepy kid situation.
Yeah.
Or not really the kid, but something happening. And I was like, I'm in for the ride.
Yep.
Did
you all read the whole synopsis before you read this?
Yeah, I think so.
I actually requested it from NetGalley and got it. So that's how how I read it was with the audio, which I did not read the e-arc before it was published because I'm a bad reader. I read that and I was like, ooh, this sounds so good. And Josh Malerman, love Bird Box. So
yeah, well, that was actually my first question. So have you all read anything by this author before?
I've only read Bird Box, and I did not read Mallory, which is the sequel or prequel.
Me too. So, yeah.
I love the movie too.
I think this was my first, but I have seen Bird Box.
Okay, so the story.
No, I did read his short story though, so I guess that counts. The Amazon one.
Oh yeah, what was that again? I didn't read it, but
I don't remember what it was called.
Is it the one that's like at a summer camp?
Something like that. Oh, It Waits in the Woods.
Yes.
I loved that one. The narration was...
Or was it Goblin? Was it Goblin?
Mm-mm.
I think Goblin, I actually am looking over, it's on my shelf. And that one's a big collection of...
Oh, gotcha.
And I heard really mixed things about it, but also a lot of times short story collections that can happen. It's at least specifically for me. I tend to not have luck, but okay. So we've read Bird Box. I loved Bird Box. I read it many years ago. I was in college, early college, and I loved it. And I don't know why I hadn't picked up anything from this author, but I guess I hadn't heard his other books talked about very much. But yeah, I loved it. Did you think the writing was similar? That you could remember, because it's hard for me to remember, but
I think with this one, it was so different just because of the perspective is an 8-year-old girl versus a full-grown woman.
Yeah.
So, but I still got the weird suspenseful vibes from it. So yes and no, I guess.
I thought Bird Box when I read it was scary, and I thought this was scary, and I thought it had a similar sense of dread, and it was also kind of character driven in Bird Box, if I'm remembering right. So that kind of felt similar, but yes, it was told this whole thing is narrated by an 8-year-old girl, so a child. Did you all like that? What were your thoughts about the narration?
I liked it. I've never read anything from a perspective like that before. So I thought it was an interesting twist.
Yeah.
On the horror genre, I guess.
Yeah. Same. And I think it just added like an extra. Kids are creepy, anyways. I mean,
Yeah.
in my opinion, especially when it's like told in like stories or like in film, like they're just creepy in general. And so, like, to have it like, especially the audiobook narrator with its like super high pitched young voice, it was like, ooh, this is so creepy. So I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was bad at all.
I liked it. I was shocked that we never got any narration from anyone else. Because I thought maybe we would, like, even just a little scene from the parents or like the perspective. But I thought it was good that it was just, only the little girl, because it kept it very much like you're seeing everything through her eyes and you're kind of understanding more than she does, which was so interesting. I love that.
I think he's really talented to be able to do that, like include adult elements, but like everything's from a child's point of view. So
yeah,
it's like, wow, that's talent.
Yeah. And I also thought it was kind of interesting because you know how like kids, like they're like a little bit more dramatic or imaginative. So I was like, so is like Other Mommy as like creepy as it is, or is it just creepy because I mean it's creepy in general, but to what degree in a child's perspective? So I thought that also added that little bit of it.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that. The only other like kids point of view I've read from is like Stephen King. He has a couple, but I feel like they're usually older kids. Like in The Shining, there's like a kid's point of view, but I don't think he does it as well. And then Paul Tremblay actually had Full of Ghosts. That was a really good book. I love that book. And
that's on my radar.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a huge majority of that book, I don't think the whole thing was told from a kid, but a lot of it was.
Oh, and then the Cabin at the End of the World.
Oh, by the same author,
Yeah, by Paul Tremblay.
Is there her perspective in it?
I believe it alternates between her and her two dads in the book. But you get her point of view.
Oh yeah. Okay. I remember the two dads' point of views, but I didn't remember. Okay, yeah. So same author. Yeah. So I would recommend those for sure. I'm still checking my closet every
Yes, ma'am, me too.
Seriously though.
Other Mommy can kick the bucket. So funny. I don't think I ever read the synopsis. Yeah, honestly, I don't think I ever read synopsis. Yeah, I try to just like skim it, like and like the first part of it. I don't know. I just find stories way more effective to me when I forget or like don't know anything.
Especially this genre, like mystery thrillers and stuff.
Oh yeah. First time reading from this author. I have read The House at the Bottom of the Lake. Oh, okay.
I have read that one. That's weird.
Yeah, that one I'm not sure if I would like. I've heard like mixed.
I liked it. It's just weird.
Yeah.
I typically don't like weird stuff.
Yeah. What the Woods Hide or something like that is the Amazon one.
That one's so good.
What Waits in the Woods. Okay, I will have to read this because I love like woods.
Yeah. It should be free on Audible to just listen to it.
Even better. We love free 99.
It was so good.
I love the creepy pid. Yes. Little kids and old people in horror give me the creeps. So I love it.
Yes, Kendall.
Something is wrong with us, Julie. So let me know in the comments also if you want to share your rating, what you rated it. I would love to know the kind of the consensus. I think for us, maybe we should wait a minute to share our final rating.
Oh yeah.
What do you think about the pacing of the book? I know just kind of non-spoilers still. And anything else you want to say non-spoilery, like elements you liked, maybe some things you didn't like. If somebody doesn't like a certain thing, don't read this. Like, what are your thoughts on those questions?
I thought the pacing was really good. It definitely like, especially page 1, like that creepy thing. Like, it's just like,
right off the bat.
Yeah. It's just like, ooh, weird, creepy. Yeah. I mean, I felt like it was very, steady pace and like it would get a little bit crazy. And like I felt like the weirdest form of ick the whole time.
Yes. For multiple reasons on my end. I was like,
I remember in the beginning, like, because it doesn't really explain like what other mommy looks like, but then it was talking about like the black hair on the back of her arms. I was like, ew, why does she have black hair on the back of her
Yeah.
arms? Like, ew.
Yeah.
It's so gross.
The descriptions were really creepy. And I actually
Mm.
just watched the movie Cobweb. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yes.
And it was like giving me this vibe. I was like,
Yes, I thought about that while I was reading it too.
really? Like the hair.
Yeah, the
There's
hair.
like this weird like entity in that too. And a lot of the time you just
Ew.
did you look?
Yeah.
That's
Ugh.
what I was imagining. I was
Oh, I literally wrote down a description of her. She had 3 toes.
like, oh, I
Hairy-
didn't remember that.
and yeah, hairy fingers and arms, and she glides across the
Ugh.
floor and like.
Scary. Yeah. Something about the hair stuck out to me. It's really freaking me out. Like
I forgot about the toes. That really stuck out to me too. I don't
Yeah.
like feet, so
I think
Same.
I missed that, but that's disturbing. 4 stars, 4 stars, 5. Oh no, 1. Mainly because of the ending and how repetitive it got. Yeah,
Mhm.
I get that. For the pacing, I was gonna say I think at the ending it felt, which I know is gonna seem really weird to certain people, but I felt like it was a little bit long, like just
Yes.
Mhm.
the very end.
I
Yeah.
agree.
But the pacing throughout, like I read it almost in one sitting. I listened to it and I was seated for it. I was like, let's go. Like,
Yeah.
I really was entertained. Actually, it was 5. I love this book. We do be a little crazy, Kendall. I honestly might bump mine up to a 4.5 because I haven't stopped thinking about it, honestly. Yes.
Yeah.
Loved Cobweb. It is very creepy. And it's really good for this time of year because
Mhm.
there's like a pumpkin patch in their backyard and it's
Oh, yeah.
so aesthetic.
Ooh.
And it's like, yeah. I didn't like love the movie, but it's just because I'm annoying and have seen like so many horror movies that
Yeah.
Yeah.
like I need the best of the best. Like,
Right.
I'm super picky. Josh Malerman posted
Yeah.
movies, of how he pictured other mommy.
Yeah.
And
Liv actually posted it in our little group channel. I was like,
I sent it to them
ew.
immediately. I was like, guys, he has an actual picture.
yeah, so scary. Oh my gosh. Okay, most people love it.
Wow.
Do
That's
you all want
amazing.
I've heard nothing but great things about this book before I read it.
Yeah,
So
I know. I was like at first, before I heard anything about it, was nervous because I was like, ooh, like this looks good. I don't want to be
Mhm.
let down, but I think I just know one person who didn't love it. Like I don't think Ashley liked it very much.
Yeah, I think she gave it 2. is
Yeah,
what I saw.
Wow.
Which
Mm.
is, it's not surprising because her and I have talked about how for some reason our taste is like opposite right now. It's so
Mhm.
like this year, it's opposite. So what did you all give it? Do you know? Like, have you decided?
I am giving it a 4.
Okay.
But I will say, like, after reading it, I was like, oh, this is 5 stars. But then, like, after, like, I guess, like, preparing for it this week, I was like, I'm trying to, like, remember things. So, like,
Yeah.
some things may be a little foggy for me, but I feel like the creepiness is what outlasted versus the actual story. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's why I'm giving it a 4. But I would recommend it.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great rating. So
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's more like a 4.5. Like I feel like I could teeter more towards a 4 or 5, but there's just a couple like smaller
Yeah.
issues I had. So
for
Yeah.
me, I think 4.5 because
Nice.
it's so hard to give a 5 for me.
It is.
Mhm.
And I just thought this was genuinely one of the scariest books I've ever read. Now, I
Mhm.
will preface that with I wasn't scared, unfortunately. I'm
Yeah.
I'm just desensitized, which sucks because like I want to be scared. Like I would love to be scared. Like I was literally walking outside, like reading this, and it wasn't like dark, but it was like the
Mhm.
evening, and I mean, and I was fine, but I was like, ooh, that's weird, like you know. And usually I don't even get that from books anymore, so I thought
Well, I was reading it in my bedroom next to my closet, and I was like, do I like the door open? Do I like the door shut?
I was creeped out. I got goosebumps a couple times, especially
I'd be
with
like,
the
oh,
bathroom scene.
Oh yeah.
Toilet. I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, it was creepy. Like very, and I thought this could also have such a potential to like be silly, and it wasn't.
Mhm.
Like it
Yeah.
stayed
Yeah.
scary. Nothing went past the point of being like creepy. Like it was always creepy. It wasn't like over the top, which
Mhm.
I really like. Yes, Kendall. It's so annoying. I'm like, I wish I just have like not seen so many horror movies so they could affect me the same or like horror.
Yeah.
movies.
Well, I think this one affected me a little bit more because I already have like a slight fear of the closet
See, yeah, that would help.
because of a certain movie that I saw as a kid, which I'll recommend because it definitely gave me those vibes towards the end of this live show. But I was like, oh my gosh, there's something in the closet.
Well, also if you were reading it, see, okay, if I was like alone by a closet, like at night reading it, then yeah,
I made my husband switch sides on the bed with me.
I love.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, that's saying something. That's saying
Yeah, for real.
I wasn't scared, but definitely got the creep factor. Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely. I think I would say if somebody doesn't like paranormal elements in books, that's a big. I mean, that's like what this book is. But I would
Yeah.
recommend it to anybody who likes scary things or creepy things. And I don't think that anything was specifically triggering in it. I feel like it's a pretty good like entry level. Am I forgetting something?
I don't think so. I
I
mean, it's like
mean,
feels like possession. So it's like if you're not
Right.
cool with that, then
yeah. I mean, I now have a new trigger of weird things in the closet, but
I
mean,
know,
that
but
might just be
like,
me.
I guess
So,
there's no like extreme horror triggers. So
yeah.
yeah.
if you want like just a purely like scary,
Mhm.
book that's just more like creepy, I would
Psychological.
Yeah.
yeah, psychological. Wait, it was for sure creepy. I want to be scared, but it's hard to scare me now. I know you and I have to talk about this because we have ideas about what movies are scary. That's funny, Jess. My hubby would have been like, nah, go to sleep on the couch.
I've got a coat closet too. She could be in there too.
Just said no closets, period.
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought of another question, and it's not on my list, so maybe we can talk about it later. It's just a general paranormal thing, like if you guys believe in that. Because I heard a story about a closet actually, and how there was a specific closet that had like a really bad smell in it, and people realized that it was probably haunted. And yeah, that is terrifying. Like closets are scary. Now, as I'm remembering that, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
thankfully none of my closets smell bad. So that's a plus.
We're in the clear.
I will put some dryer sheets in my closet.
Like, even if it smells bad, I will not know. Yes, ma'am, I do. Yeah, I do too. I've never experienced anything personally, but I do believe in it, which I don't know. Do you all believe in it?
I don't, but my anxiety and paranoia does.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Valid.
like,
Yeah,
if you hit-
I
yeah.
do, for sure. I mean, I'm also personally a Christian and I still believe it, good and evil, like all
Yeah.
of that kind
Mhm.
of stuff. So I think for sure it's a real thing, which is
I
scary.
totally believe in it. Like even like exorcisms, I'm like, oh my God, I'm scared.
Oh yeah.
It's like
There's certain things with that that I personally like. I can't because it's so real to me. I can't even like watch it.
Yeah,
and think about it.
yeah.
Uh,
It's so scary. Yeah, I don't know. I've for some reason recently watched a lot of exorcism movies. I don't know why. It's just like happened. And now I'm kind of desensitized from it. But like I remember seeing The Conjuring the first time.
Oh yeah.
And that scene, I literally was like dead. I was so scared. I watched that probably like 10 years ago. And that was like
Same.
so shocking. I was like,
yeah,
what?
that was terrifying.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm gonna go to spoilers. So if you would not like this spoiled, you are free to leave and come back once you've read it. But I want to give fair warning, and I'm gonna put my spoiler sign up, and I can't wait to talk about spoilers. This is just like the best book to talk about. I don't know.
It
Mhm.
really is.
Excited. Okay, so since we're just talking about being scared, like what was the scariest scene for you all? Is there something that stuck out to you?
Page 1 to page 3. No, I'm just kidding. Just anytime, like, I remember one scene. I mean, it was not even that big of a scene, but just like pretending to be asleep, but like that unsettling feeling. I was just like, ugh, mm-mm. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I remember being really creeped out in the scene where she thinks her mom's talking to her.
Yep.
And then
Yes.
she realizes her mom's like, who's that? Or like, or who you're talking to, or who are you talking to? That's like my biggest fear. Like, I remember reading like a Reddit no sleep or something where it was like somebody, like you think it's your partner in bed and then you like look over and it's like a random person.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, no.
I fear. So like that was scary to me. And then also like any of the scenes where the eyes were like in weird places, like how they like moved around. Like,
Yeah, that
so
was
thank
freaking
you.
disgusting.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there was like one other one.
I just remember like she had to go to the bathroom so badly. She gets to the toilet, she looks down, and there's other legs under her. I was like,
Oh,
Yeah.
I flipped my lid. I was like, I had to put the book down, and I was like, now I don't want to go to the bathroom, like especially in the middle of the night. No, thank you.
yeah. Anything like with like weird body parts and like things that shouldn't be there, like body horror, like I can't do. Like gives me the major ick.
Yeah, it freaked me out too when they were at the zoo, and the thing was there too, because I was like, that's when they realized that it's following her, like it's not, and that's so scary. Like the fact that it's not just a haunted house, it's like following her, like wants her.
And like the first time when you realize that, when she just sees like the hands creeping out at the park or whatever, she thought it was her friend talking to her. I was like,
that was the other scene that freaked me out so bad.
Yeah, I was like, it's following her.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh my gosh, that whole scene, I forgot about that scene. How she's like talking to her friend and her friend's like, stop. And then like she thinks it's the friend's voice and then it's other mommy.
And then it's,
oh my gosh, that is so scary. Like the thought of like something sounding like somebody else.
It's like psychological scary and then like visually scary in a way too.
Yeah, because you see the other voice and then like it's coming out of something else. Yeah, scary. The Conjuring movies are my comfort movies. Honestly, like they are for me too.
Classics.
But the first time I saw it, I was like, no, thank you. I hate when things are crawling on the wall. Yeah. And there was one scene where she slithered from the ceiling to the floor. Yeah. Like Hereditary.
Oof. Yeah.
So the playground scene. Yes. I also hated how she would wake up and other mommy would just be there watching her. Yeah.
Edward Cullen.
No.
Literally.
At one point, there's like a handprint on the window or something like that too above her bed. I was like, oh.
How did this child sleep? Like ever?
Right.
And also
couldn't be me.
Well, I think part of it was because the kid thought that she was kind of her friend, even though she knew something was wrong.
Yeah, true.
Which was like, oh my God. Yeah. Julie, yes, that one. And her hairy ass arms. Literally, why was it always the hair on the back? So nasty. At the lady's house on the toilet that ended up being a toilet. Literally anytime she thought she was talking to someone. Yes. Which this brings up such an interesting question I have for you all. Okay, so what did you think about these parents who are just like spilling the tea like while their daughter's asleep? But like they're like, I don't really care if she's actually asleep. Like she needs to learn about the world. Like, what do you all think of that?
I think our parents were just horrible people in general, but
I was so confused. I was like, is this normal? Like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, she's 8. It's not like she's like 13 or something.
Right.
Like, she's still an adolescent.
I know, but they were saying like traumatizing things, and I was just like, can you please stop? And then the mom like, well, I guess you find out it's other mommy, but still, like, what the mom was saying to her in the car, she's like, I didn't want to be a parent, and like, can't I just not be a parent? And I don't know, it was just so sad. And I was like, how is this child gonna like be okay? Not only from other mommy, but just like her own mother, you know?
Yeah. And them getting drunk and just joking about it in front of her. I was like, what is
Yeah.
your problem? Are you serious right now?
I know. And I was like wondering, like, the babysitter who's like there, you know how they had that babysitter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, she can just like dance for the guests. I was like, what is happening?
So weird.
Yeah.
That's just kind of taken me out of the story a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it's weird how they like seem like, you know, great parents, and then like you slowly see like all the cracks and stuff like that. And I was just like, okay, well, this girl has like no one.
Yeah. I guess he had to like unfold more of the story from the adult's perspective in some way. So maybe that was his way of doing it, but it was weird.
Yeah.
I thought it was super weird too. Like, the whole cheating is done in the book. I don't know. It was very strange. Like, why is she killing her kid? She's like, I don't even know. That annoyed me. But I guess, like, what else?
Yeah.
I
like,
guess
your daughter isn't your therapist, so like, what?
I know. This poor girl had to use the bathroom and was trying to escape a ghost, and they were getting drunk and passing out. Yeah. I agree. The parents were terrible. Who sits on their kid's bed and talks about cheating? I know. The mom was for sure a trash bag. Yeah, especially the mom. I mean, the dad, I don't know if I'm remembering everything about the dad. It was more so that he was cheating in the beginning. I mean, I guess he was like telling a lot of stuff to the daughter too.
Yeah. I guess like with her also like asking questions like, when's mommy coming home? And you're like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, sad.
Yeah. The party, like, what? Yeah. And then I was like, is this what normal parents do? Because my parents did not do that.
No,
like,
same.
I was just like, what? Imagine paying a person to babysit your kid while you're just downstairs with friends. I do know that does happen, though.
Yeah. I'm not surprised.
Like, but the fact that she was like around all the drinking and smoking was just a little bit strange.
Yeah. That sounds like a nanny, not a babysitter.
Yeah. And then the guy was just on his phone. I felt bad for the kid. I was like, come on.
I know.
Literally call CPS. Yeah. No kidding. So we all have established we don't like the parents. Did you like the main girl, or were you creeped out by her the whole time?
You talking about Bella?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Her name. It was like the little girl.
I think just everyone, like with the parents being terrible and then other mommy just being creepy and kind of gross and ugly. I felt like I couldn't really pay attention to her being creepy. I felt like the voice like added that creepy element, but I don't think Bella ever creeped me out besides her experience.
Yeah. I like sympathized with her and was like rooting for her the whole time.
Yeah.
Because no one else was normal.
Me too. And like hearing her thoughts, it was so heartbreaking. Like she just wanted her parents to be happy together, and like, yeah, that was really sad.
It's kind of eye-opening too, because like my parents are still together, but I can see from a child's perspective how that would look with divorced parents at such a young age. It's just some of the thought process and stuff is like kind of sad.
I know. Did you all predict the end and like what was going to happen or anything really in the story, or was there a surprise?
I was just in for the ride.
Same. I wasn't trying to predict anything. I didn't really know where it was going to go.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I didn't know that she would finally let other mommy in. I was kind of like, dang it. But also, I mean, what else was she supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like, what's her option? You know, she was alone.
Yeah, I was curious. I was like, well, what would happen if she did let her in? Like, it's either going to be good or bad. And like, I don't know. I guess just like not knowing. But I couldn't picture like what would happen if she did let her in. So
Yeah.
And it was kind of vague at the end. So did it
Yeah.
even say anything? I feel like it ended and I was like, did I miss something? And I was
Same. I was on like I searched like explanation of the end of the book, and there's like this whole Reddit forum I can send you guys of people like,
I
I
saw
think it
that
ended
too.
this way, or the parents didn't die, or like no, but they did. Like I don't know. It was kind of
I saw one on Reddit and it was like, oh, like other mommy turned into a spider and here's why. And I was like,
yes. I was like, what?
yeah.
Ew, I don't want that.
Because I'm really bad with like ambiguous endings and not like because I'm
Mhm.
like, did I catch it? Like I read like I'm thinking of ending things by Ian Reid. I was like, I really love this, but I don't know what happened. So I had to like I was like, oh, that's what happened. So
Mhm.
yeah, I guess it's up for your own interpretation of what happened in a way. But like I
Yeah.
hate that, but like I also love it at the same time.
Yeah.
Same.
I think I was okay with it. I feel like I liked the ride, like how it was really scary and the tension and stuff throughout that, like the way it ended was fine for me. I feel like if it would have been like a happily ever after, it may have not fit, you know? I don't know. Because of the parents specifically. If the parents were different, then it could have been like, oh, okay, they're like a happy family. But I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah.
And I know with like thrillers and horror, like not having it all wrapped up in a pretty bow is, you know, I save that for romance.
Yeah.
True,
Isn't
true.
that like the definition of romance? I've heard people talk about this.
Well, I think it's funny. Gwen was mentioning, she's like, people get so upset if you talk about romance, and it's like, shocker, they all live happily ever after. I mean, not all the time, but I would say like 9 times out of 10, they are going to like
Yeah.
ride off into the sunset.
Yeah. Yeah. And what would you, so what's like a sad romance? Like, it's not a romance. Like, what is it?
I would say like one that I can think of that you really didn't know how it was going to end is like the Taylor Jenkins Reid.
Yes, One True Loves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like someone's going to get heartbroken out of the two guys. So
Mhm.
So would you consider that romance or would you call it a different category?
I would because you fall in love with both guys, and I was like, honestly,
Yeah.
I can like see her with both. So
Interesting. See, I haven't really read romance. Like I've read a little fantasy romance, but not straight up romance. So that's interesting. Maybe
Yeah.
one day I'll read it. Maybe.
And then like Nicholas Sparks, like A Walk to Remember, like gut wrenching.
Mm,
Yeah. So I
sure.
read that actually when I was younger, and I was like, "Wow, that is so sad."
Yeah.
I watched it on pay-per-view.
I liked Bella and felt bad for her. I felt like she wasn't creepy. She just wanted a friend. I know. And how she had like one friend.
I know that she scared away.
This book was so sad. And usually I don't like sad horror, but I felt like it was balanced enough with it just being like creepy,
For sure.
that I could like handle it, because if it's just sad, then it gets hard for me.
Mhm.
Then I'm kind of like, what's the point of reading this? I'm just really sad, What other books do you think are similar or would you recommend if you can think of any? I would recommend the Paul Tremblay, what I just said.
Which one?
A Head Full of Ghosts.
Okay. I've seen mixed with that. So I'm like, do I pick it up? Do I not?
Yeah, I mean, so that one feels way more like possession heavy because they're trying to figure out if this girl is possessed. And they bring in this like reality TV crew, which horrible parents, what the heck? Like it's a theme. And so you're getting chapters also, if I'm remembering correctly, of like snippets from the show that's being filmed. Like there's a spin-off show, I think. It's been a couple of years. And then you're also getting perspectives of like what really happened from the little girl, I believe. And that ending is pretty shocking. The Cabin at the End of the World, I personally didn't love as much because
I've only seen the movie.
Did you like it?
I have not seen the movie, but I read the book and I really liked it, but I didn't like that ambiguous ending. I was just like,
I've heard the ending of the movie is different from the book, so
yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe I might like it.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, for me, there was something that happened in it that was so sad that I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, no.
Yeah.
Like it was too hard for me. Like it was
Yeah.
just too sad for my enjoyment to be that high. And then coupled with the end, it was like, okay. But I know a lot of people love it and that it's really intense
It's really short too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I recently read a Darcy Coates short story. It's in her Ghost Camera book. It's a collection of short stories. Highly recommend. It was good. But there's one short story, I think it's called A Box of Tapes or something, where this little girl calls something other mommy. So that was very reminiscent of this. And then Coraline is the other one I could think of that actually has another mommy. So
yeah.
Did you like all the short stories pretty much in that collection?
There was one that was like iffy, but the rest of them were like at least 3.5 stars. And the last one was like a 5. So yeah, it was really fun.
I need to try it out. I've had mixed experiences with Darcy Coates. So I'm like, I'm nervous, but I want to try.
I haven't read much from her. I've just read Ashburn House and then the short story collection. I've liked both of it, but I don't know what you've read.
I've read The Haunting of Ashburn, and sadly, that one didn't work very well for me.
Yeah, I can see why. I mean, I'm not a horror reader, so it was just enough for me.
It was too cozy. Like I was kind of, okay. And then I read what is it called?
Is it the one with the face on it?
No. It's the other winter one. I don't know why I'm blanking.
Dead of Winter?
That's the one I was thinking of.
It's not, I own that one. It's shoot. I'm like, I don't know why I'm blanking, but it's a book where they're like stranded in a cabin and it's more of a thriller.
Okay.
I really liked Gallows Hill.
I've heard great things about that.
I've heard good things about
And have I read another Darcy Coates? I'm like looking at my shelf. I own
Voices in the Snow.
No, it's not. And wait, did you say Dead of Winter?
Yeah.
Maybe it was that. Sorry.
It sounds like that.
I literally was like, no. Dead of Winter. Oh my God. Yeah, it was Dead of Winter. Sorry.
Okay. She's changing her covers too, so
yeah,
that doesn't help.
I know, and I'm like trying to look over what I have. I have something House of Shadows, and I can't see that far, but I have a couple. I do have Voices in the Snow. But
she has a lot of house books. The Haunting of something house.
Yeah. And you're like, what? Which one? Yeah. But I'm curious about that collection now. It's in the Ghost Camera one, right?
Yes. The first story is 100 pages, which is called Ghost Camera. I think there's 5 stories in between, and then the last 100 pages is the last story. So
interesting. Okay.
Nice. Yeah. 2 books that I have is this is one of my favorites. It's Home Before Dark by Riley Sager, because there's a creepy closet. It's not there's not another mommy, but there's Mrs. Penny Eyes, I believe is her name. And there's like 3 like imaginative like characters in the closet, or they come out of the closet. Like super creepy, love it.
I need to reread that this year.
That's my plan. I want to reread it in October because it's my favorite one by him. So
me too.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe we can do that together. That sounds fun.
You just hit me up.
Because I should read it then too.
Yeah. The other one is My Darling Girl by Jennifer McMahon, because that has that little possession one, surrounded by a family. It's like an estranged mother who's dying, I believe, of cancer. So she comes to live with her daughter and her family. And like there's just weird stuff happening. Incidences around the house happening.
That's a good comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have not read that one. Okay, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's really good. And then as far as movies, the one that creeps me out about closets is The Poltergeist, the original one.
Oh, I haven't
where the
seen
closet
that.
is. Yeah, I'm just waiting for a light to shine in my closet and for the closet to eat me.
Yeah. I have not seen that before.
Oh my gosh, it is traumatizing.
I know it's a classic. See, movie wise, I was kind of thinking of like Insidious because it's something where it's like the
That's a good one.
he's being haunted by an entity. So like they move
Mhm.
houses and
Yeah.
we're still screwed. So
Yeah.
Right.
I'm trying to think. I mean, I've seen like a million.
There's also Mama.
Oh, I haven't
Mm.
seen that. I want to see that.
Yeah, there's like a mama ghost or whatever that's
Haven't
like
seen
trying
it
to
yet.
like get the kids or whatever.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
Yeah. If you want something with just a creepy kid, The Orphan is like one of my favorite.
Oh yeah, I love that one.
And also it's like a twist, you know.
Yeah, I did not see that coming.
I need to watch that one.
Ooh,
So
I think you would
good.
like it.
Okay.
It's very, very good.
Adding it to my list.
Yeah, I mean the sequel wasn't as good, but I liked it. It was good. I'm trying to think if there's any other creepy, like we were saying earlier, I mean, like a lot of horror movies use the creepy kid thing.
Yeah.
You'll have to read Where He Can't Find You.
I just got that.
What is that? Where?
Her new YA book.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Been interested in that one.
Kendall loved that one. That was her
The
first.
cover's really pretty.
I know. I mean, nothing like this book, but it's creepy and good. Okay, good to know. Ooh, Kendall loved it. Ooh, that's awesome. I thought the part with the man that supposedly came to help was interesting, where he saw other mommy. He said he's finally seen one now and then left.
Yeah.
Gosh, yeah. So I think he was like scamming people just to try to see like something paranormal.
Yeah.
And then he
Yep.
finally found something paranormal. That was horrible. It was like their hope. And he was just like, bye guys.
Yeah. And that's why, like, in the Poltergeist movie, like, they actually bring in help and stuff like that. I mean, he doesn't take off, but and it's really funny. There's actually like an urban legend that movie was haunted because the girl that played the little girl in the movie ended up like passing away like very shortly. Yeah.
I didn't know that. How old was she? Like the little girl?
They made a sequel and I don't remember it being very good. I would say like 12 or under.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they remade it
Oh.
like years ago. And it's not as scary as the first one, but or the original, because like it was, I mean, the effects are terrible, but like the closet like eating you, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, like for paranormal movies, I loved the Paranormal Activity movies. Like I think they're really scary.
I haven't seen those either.
Ooh, they're scary. If you're scared of like paranormal stuff and found footage kind of gets to you, yeah.
Fun fact, I cannot have my cabinets left open because of the second movie.
Yes, it's scary. And like, oh my gosh, I want to rewatch those because those are some of the only movies that actually kind of do freak me out because they feel real.
Yeah, because they're like on cameras or like home surveillance footage and stuff like that.
Yeah, and even when the acting's not great, somehow it's kind of like, well, there's people like that, you know? I don't know. Like, this feels legit.
Easy.
Like, I could pass these people in the store. Like, I wouldn't be shocked, you know?
Yeah.
Home Before Dark is the actual best. I know. I'm so sad I didn't like his newest, like, 3 books, and I'm so bummed.
Oh, that's a bummer.
It is because he was, like, my favorite author.
You didn't like Only One Left?
No.
I loved that. I did not like the newest one though. Middle of the Night.
Yeah. I feel like The Only One Left was too similar in my like mind to the Turn of the Screw story. Like it had that sort of vibe, and I have just read stuff based on that so much. Yeah. I know it was different. It also was very like family tree, like, and I usually don't like that kind of thing as much. Yeah. But his newest book,
no,
it was all right.
Not my favorite. I think it's funny because people were like, oh, Riley Sager writes about like, you know, young women, and I was like, okay, whatever. And then he writes about like a 40-year-old man. I was like, he
Like,
should write about young women because I like it
yeah.
better.
For real.
Just like excited that it's going to be a male narrator. Like, oh, what's this going to be like? And it's like,
Mhm.
we understand why you.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
like seeing him talk when I went to go see him in Maryland, I was like, okay, this totally makes sense. Cause like the whole first scene with like the lights coming on, like he like actually witnessed something weird like that. So
Like,
Oh.
I mean, I like that scene. That was
mhm.
a creepy scene.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish the whole book was kind of like that. But
Yeah.
And I also just think that like there was a couple things in that book that could have gone darker, and then they
Yep.
didn't. And I was like, oh shoot, that could have been like really disturbing. But
He's
mhm.
trying to do too much, in my opinion. I was like, just stick to like the paranormal thing. Don't
Yeah.
do all this other
Do
background
another
stuff.
Home Before Dark.
Yes.
I know. I just got Where He Can't Find You. Can't wait for that one. Yes. Sorry, I was like, which book is that? But the Darcy Codes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've already added that to my TBR.
Yeah. I have never seen Poltergeist and don't know how I haven't seen
Literally
it.
same.
It's I mean, how often do you like to be traumatized by closets and creepy clowns underneath the bed?
Clowns.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I hate clowns. I didn't know there was clowns in there.
Oh yeah, that clown.
This is a big draw for me. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm scared of clowns. Like, oh, I've seen Terrifier and that like messed me up. Would not recommend if you have any sort of trigger.
With a name like that, I'm out.
Yeah, well, the person who did the movie like was primarily, I'm pretty sure, a special effects score
Oh.
person. So it's gore focused, but it scared the crap out of me because it's like it's a clown. So
Yeah.
a really creepy clown.
So you hate it.
I do, but I love
I love it.
Yeah.
I did not like chapter 2. That was
I didn't watch it.
Oh, I loved both of them.
I mean, it's a good movie. I just prefer the kids like.
Yeah. Well, like growing up, people are like, "Oh, Pennywise," like the original, like oh my gosh, what's his name? Tim Curry played the original Pennywise, and they're like, "Oh, he's so scary." I was like, have you seen the Poltergeist? This one's living underneath your bed."
I want to see it now.
Oh, it's so
Same.
creepy.
Same.
I just recently watched the original Exorcist too, and that holds up. That's scary still.
The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one scene and I'm just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I would not recommend that also if any triggers. Like,
yeah. I remember like it being like, I hate when like I know like Exorcist type books and movies, like obviously there's some sort of like religion aspect to it, but like I feel like the Exorcist movie, like the whole Catholic church type of thing, I'm just like, oh, okay, like let's get on.
Yeah.
I just liked that it was creepy.
Yeah.
So I will say I read the book and I didn't like a lot of the book was like the priest's perspective.
Yeah.
And I didn't enjoy that in the book. I think in the movie everything was shortened down. So I was like comparing it to the book because I had just read it. And I agree. But at least the movie showed more of the possession. Like, but some of the stuff in the book, like the possession stuff, how it was described in the book was so disturbing. Like more disturbing than the movie. Because like obviously they can't show everything. They already showed like
enough.
That girl, I feel bad for her. Because Insidious was the first movie that scared the crap out of me. Demons were in the
gosh,
in the daytime instead of just night. Yeah, that movie's so iconic. Like that started a couple of those movies started my love for horror.
I need to watch it.
I think you would like it. You should watch it after having just read this.
Yeah. I have like a fall movie list and I'm over here typing away as you guys are talking.
I will say that like I just don't trust.
So on your Instagram, when you're watching Insidious, and be like, "Oh, Kendall's probably right beside you because she loves the movie."
Exactly. She's like the only person like I watch horror movies with. She's like, "Can we watch this or that?" I'm like, "Oh, if you watch it with me."
I am trying to think of like good recommendations that are not like traumatizing. You know?
Yeah. My husband's always like, "You need to watch Paranormal Activity and Insidious." I'm like, Okay, if you watch it with me.
Paranormal Activity. If you're, yeah, it's pretty scary.
I feel like with Paranormal Activity, it like builds. It's not like just like 10
Yeah,
minutes in and it's like bam,
that's
jump
what it seems
scares.
like.
Like it's like little things around the house, and then it's just like bam, things get crazy at the end.
Mm.
I watched Longlegs. I don't know if you all have seen that.
I've heard that's really good.
I've been
Oh,
so
it's
tempted to
so-
look up what
Don't-
he looks like, but I
don't
don't
do
want to
it.
spoil it.
Don't do it. It's so good because one of my favorite movies is The Silence of the Lambs. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's as good as that. But I would say, and it also has differences, but I have never felt that, maybe not never, but it's just like a feeling of unbelievable dread.
Yeah.
Just like, I feel so uncomfortable right now. And I watched it in the theater and everybody was just locked in. Like nobody was making a sound.
Oh, I bet.
Just like collectively, like, and apparently they use certain filming tricks where I think they kept the what am I trying to say? Like the subject was like on the side or something, so you saw the background. So you're like focused like what's in the background, and like it wasn't moving, and so it's filmed in a way that's really unnerving.
Oh,
I loved it. So
I've also seen other people say like the Bonanook or Bonnaroo or whatever. Yeah, I've heard like that's. I haven't personally seen it, but I heard like incidences around the house has like a similar vibe too.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that one in years, but it is. Oh yeah, there is similarities.
Personally, I haven't seen it. I've heard it's like the scariest one on Netflix. I'm like, that's a big title.
Not in my opinion. I would say different movies scare everybody, but was Poltergeist the one that scared you the most out of all?
Well, I saw it when I was like 6, and I wasn't supposed to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Traumatized.
What about like in your adulthood? What has scared you the most, or like teen?
Okay, so like my other like rational fear, because it could actually happen, is like someone's in the house.
Yeah.
And so I bought a book. It's on the bottom of this thing, but it's the newest one that came out called Someone in the Attic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is my worst fear, but okay, cool.
Yeah.
We'll see. But I'm really excited for that one.
Have you seen The Strangers?
Yes. I went on a really bad first date and we went to go see that movie.
No, that's the worst movie ever to see.
Really? I liked it at the time, but like I went on a date with someone that likes to talk during the movies. I'm like,
oh no.
Yeah, red flag. There was no second date. So
I'm watching the movie then. Like,
right. I was like, you pay like an arm and a leg to go to the theaters. You might as well just watch it.
Yeah.
I loved that movie, but that one is super scary to me. Like even today, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. Gave me the creeps for sure.
What about you, Liv? Have you had one that's like really, really scared you?
Not recently. I feel like I'm just now kind of getting more into horror movies. Like the first ones I ever saw was like the Conjuring movies. Hereditary is probably one of the more recent ones I've seen, which is still kind of like a backlist. That traumatized me. The beginning.
The piano wire. I was like, oh
yeah, just the whole car scene driving. I was like, what am I watching?
Mm-hmm.
There's another one that's really creepy and it has like old people in it. I think it's called The Visit, but it's so funny.
I know what you're talking about.
It's like it's so funny. The kids in the movie are so funny, but like the creepy old people and like they're like running underneath like the house and stuff like that.
Oh, I know. I just watched that recently. That's creepy.
Yeah.
I could. So sorry, everyone. I could literally talk about this for like years. I don't watch other kind of movies really. I only watch horror. I'm like that person. So I watched a lot.
Yeah.
I love found footage films. Yes. Oh my gosh. If you all like found footage, Gonjiam Haunted Asylum. So scary.
Oof.
Do you know
Asylum right there just makes me creeped out.
So scary.
I love that kind of atmosphere.
Yeah, no, it's a Korean film and it's like an abandoned asylum.
Oh gosh.
and it's so scary. Like,
Sign me up though.
yeah, the beginning's kind of boring because it's like the typical found footage setup, like a group of friends joking around.
Ugh.
Hell House LLC, perfect for the Halloween season. Have you all heard of that?
What's it called?
Hell House LLC. It's like about a group of friends putting together a haunted house. And
What?
Oh.
it's so good. I love it.
It has a clown.
It does have a clown. That's why I thought of it.
That's creepy.
You're
Oh.
gonna be really scared of the clown because the clown scenes are really scary. But it's
Clowns actually don't scare me unless it's in person because I'm like, that's a grown man wearing makeup chasing kids around. That's creepy.
oh,
Yeah.
I had that really bad fear as a child of people in costumes. Like I would literally run away and like my
Mhm.
parents couldn't find me. Like it was bad. Like I ran away at the state fair and I hid. And they're like, where is this girl? But it was always like, who's in the costume?
I also don't like this is like another fear that not really a fear, but I just don't tolerate it. And I don't want this to sound awful, but like The Ring or like The Grudge, like hair in front of your face.
Yeah, no, it's scary. It's like
Yeah.
other money.
Yeah.
It's weird.
And like also like some anime creeps me out too. Like I'm like, ooh, why are their faces changed that way? I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, hair is scary.
It is.
If you think
Read
about
it
it.
only.
An excessive
kinda like-
amount is scary.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
is. It's like a clown doll. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is making me want to get a bed that sits on the ground. I thought you're like, it makes me want to go to bed. I was like, what? I love all the Conjuring movies and the Annabelle ones. Yeah. I haven't seen the newest Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It. I think it has Bill
Haven't seen
Skarsgård
that
in it.
either.
Played
Oh.
Pennywise. My husband legit thought Paranormal Activity was real the first time we watched it. Yeah, it's good. Hereditary is a good one. Love it. The Strangers is so scary. The Others with Nicole Kidman. I've been wanting to rewatch
Oh,
that.
it's so good. I love that one.
I feel like I watched that recently.
It has such a good twist at the end. I'm like, what?
And also, like, it's not too much, you know? Like, it's
No.
an entry level, I would say.
Yeah.
The Visit, Yahtzee. I love that one. Yes. The Others, yes. Hello. I just stopped in to say hello. I love all your channels. I just received my hold. Aw. Well, I hope that you enjoy the audiobook because I loved the audiobook.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. Do you think it was an actual kid or somebody with a voice changer?
It was a kid. I looked it up.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
How
She's
could
young.
a kid do that? Like that kid.
That's crazy.
I feel like she looked kind of familiar. I don't think she's been in any movies, but you guys are more familiar with the horror
Let's see.
genre than I am, so
I had no idea that it was actually a real kid. I was like, oh, it's an adult with a voice change.
that's why I was like, I can't do the audio.
That makes it even. I'm off to watch it part 2 with my sister, but I enjoyed the discussion. Watch it part 2. Oh, how fun! I was like, you're gonna watch it part 2. Like, which one?
I need to rewatch this.
Thanks for hanging out. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's been so fun. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting about any other question, but I think we kind of got everything.
The only thing I was gonna ask you guys is about the date at the end. August 2020 or autumn 2023.
Wait.
I also forgot about that.
Did you say August 2003 to autumn?
It says autumn 2023. I was like, what is that date for? Michigan? I was like, some people said that some authors will do that as a sign off, as like the end where they were when they finished the book. And when? But I was like, is there just like a hidden meaning here? Because
I actually remember that too and being like, what does that mean? That's when it was written, I believe. Authors like to do that.
Okay.
But
weird.
It's weird that it's so close to previous sentence.
I know.
Like, you think like maybe it would
Like
be in a
there's the break, but
weird.
it kind of like switches perspectives when other mommy comes into her, because it says, and there's room, so much room, but it's not a house my voice speaks into, and it's not a home. And then it has that date. I don't know. That was weird to me. I was like, what?
Yeah, I noticed that too, and I forgot about it because I don't have it physically. Interesting.
Yeah.
Have you seen The Black Veil?
Mm-mm.
No.
Apparently the voice actor or the narrator did work for that.
Oh.
The other stuff I have not seen. It's like a short horror film is what it says. So it looks creepy.
Ooh, okay, so the child is all right.
Yeah.
The child has done other things. Is it Sally?
No, it's
no.
shoot.
It's an older woman.
Delaney Nicole Gill?
Yeah.
Oh. She looks kind of familiar, but I haven't seen anything. Interesting. Well, that's so cool to know that an actual kid did this, but scary.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dang. I would have nightmares, I feel like, if I was a kid reading this even. So.
I'd be like, Dear Josh Malerman, I can no longer sleep next to a closet. Here's my bill for therapy.
Exactly.
Literally. Well, thank you all so much for reading this with me. And thanks to everybody in the chat. It's been so fun. Both of their channels are listed in the description, so make sure you hit subscribe if you're not already. I really hope that it worked for their descriptions to stay in, or your channels, because I was trying to add it the first time and it like was glitching. But I think
StreamYard has been weird lately.
Yeah.
It really has. Like, I had to try to do it twice. So anyway, let me just check. I'm pretty sure that it actually worked. It's opening the chat. Oh yes, it did. Okay, their channels are in the description officially. So thanks so much for hanging out, and I hope you all have a great night. And I'm going to end the stream here. Bye.
Bye.